And happy Tuesday to everyone as well. And thanks for joining us again for another currency call by Forex Trading Asia. So it is Tuesday, the 19th of October, and it is episode 399. So thanks for everyone that has been following this since the beginning as well last year. And just a quick introduction as well. So if you are new to the channel and to the currency call, welcome. And what we do here is we analyze the currencies as follows. So on Monday, we do the Aussie and Kiwi. Tuesday, we do the Euro. Wednesday, the Pound. Thursday, we do Yen and Gold. And then Friday, we do CAD and crypto, specifically Ethereum and Bitcoin. Now, this is the currency call where you'll get market economic updates, the key support and resistance levels, trade ideas, and of course, much more. Kim Hong is here today as well. So that's the much more part as well. I should have made that bold and capitals. Now, this currency call also will be very beneficial to both the long-term investors and the short-term traders. And we will go through what could move prices, the possible trade ideas, and we'll also highlight the potential targets and risks. Importantly, as well as a disclaimer, any information shared during this session is not intended to be a trade idea or a trade recommendation, sorry. It is solely the opinion and views of the speaker. So please remember to do your own analysis prior to entering any trades. That's definitely very important. And always feel free to ask questions on the call and also in the LCMS Traders Club as well. So just to start off here, guys, we do have Kim Hong, currency strategist with LCMS Traders, and he'll be running through the recent RBA rate minutes that actually came out around an hour and a half ago. So over to you now, Kim Hong, and welcome back.
Yep, thank you, Scott. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Okay, so RBA minutes. Nothing much except one new point that they actually made. Okay, so what you're looking at is the minutes. Okay, not recommended to read it because it's very lengthy. Probably will take one day. Okay, so what's so different from the minutes this time around, with the previous one, right, is that the RBA committee members, okay, they have actually started to, well, I would say review, okay, on the Evergrande saga, okay, as you guys know that this whole Evergrande saga that took place recently, this company is actually the China's second largest property developer, okay, so they have been met with some issues. They are unable to pay back bondholders, the interest to bondholders, okay? So that actually led to some snowballing of debts, I would say, okay? And in fact, at some point, I think the market was actually speculating that this whole Evergrande saga may actually turn out to be another Lehman Brothers saga, okay? So as of now, I would say it's still quite safe, all right? At least, the RBA thinks so too, all right? So let me just look for the key points here. Okay, wow, so many people coming in. Okay, so yeah, recent developments in Evergrande's financial position has led to a decline in risk sentiment across global financial markets in September. Okay, hence there was some, chaotic movement in the market because of this whole Evergrande saga. So members, okay, while Evergrande is small relative to the financial system in China, members noted a financial stability risk from spillovers to other developers and financiers if the resolution of Evergrande's problems were to be disorderly, okay? So, I mean, with so many offshore and onshore debts being owed by the company, okay, if they were not to be able to raise the money, the funds, to pay back bondholders in time, then, this is going to lead to some, I would say, new drama, new saga going on, okay? And this is what the members, okay, of the RBA, the committee members, are actually pointing out right now, all right? So, I mean, if the central bank is actually paying attention to this whole Evergrande saga, for sure, we have to pay attention as well, all right? I mean, moreover, as you guys probably already know, that there's actually a positive correlation between the Australian dollar okay, and the Chinese yuan, right? So anything that is pessimistic to the Chinese yuan will more or less have a strong impact on the Australian dollar. All right. So yeah, some other property developers have also experienced restrictions and things like that. Basically, it's quite I would say a mess right now, you know. And wait, there's another point that I would like to bring out is okay. So something assuring, okay, that the RBA actually highlight is this, okay. Sharp price movements had so far been limited to Evergrande's own bond and equity prices, okay, along with those of some other Chinese property developers and the equity prices of small number of banks with large exposures to Evergrande. So my take is that, you know, the RBA is actually saying that as of right now, okay, as of right now, the whole you know, price movement, the price instability is actually limited, right, to within China. All right, it hasn't really spilled out of the country as of now. Okay, which you know, which if it actually does, we may actually be seeing something along the line of Lehman Brothers. Okay, so as of now, it's still contained. All right, and to add on to that assuring point, last Friday, okay, the PBOC, which is the People's Bank of China, okay, the Central Bank of China, okay, actually said that you know, the risks posed by Evergrande are controllable. Okay, I'm not sure how controllable it is, okay, but I mean, at least there are the it's words coming out from the central bank. Okay, so we will just take their words for it for now. You know, that it's the whole risk being sent out by this whole Evergrande saga is controllable, and you know, the Chinese government will most likely be stepping in, you know, probably because Evergrande may very well be a too big to fail, too big to collapse kind of company, okay, and its collapse will actually, you know, send chaos across China's market, at least, okay, across the Chinese market at the minimum. All right, and you know, may eventually spill out to the global markets as well. Okay, so that's pretty much the main point for the minutes this time around. Okay, the other points being highlighted, you know, that's monetary policy related is, let me just get to this. It's over here. You know, the usual stuff. The central bank will not increase cash rate until actual inflation is sustainably achieved within the 2 to 3% target. Okay, and you know, they are not expecting this whole target to be met before 2024. All right, and the main focus for the central bank, okay, would be to see the labor market be tight enough to generate materially higher wages growth than at the time of the meeting. Okay, as of now, I think wage inflation is still low. All right, overall inflation is still low as well. Okay, so unless inflation, okay, specifically the wage inflation, wage growth, is to be high, okay, otherwise it's unlikely that the central bank, or you know, clearly stated here, it's not going to be the case that the central bank will be increasing interest rates, cash rate. Okay, so for the time being, okay, the next meeting for the by the RBA will be on 2nd of November. For the time being, it's unlikely we are going to see any policy changes being made to the monetary policy, okay, by the central bank, because during the most recent meeting, we have already heard from them that they will be holding on to the quantitative easing program, okay, currently at 4 billion Australian dollars per week, okay, for the time being, until at least February 2022, okay, which means unlikely we are going to see any changes from now until February 2022. So that's for the QE side of things. For the interest rate side of things, you know, as you already know, unlikely going to take place, you know, hike is unlikely going to take place anytime before 2024. So probably going to be, you know, quite a quiet meeting for November 2nd, okay? But we'll see how it goes, all right? When the date draws nearer, then, you know, I will just update you guys again on anything that may actually potentially be taking place, okay? So that's all I got to share. With that, I will hand it back to Scott.
All right, thanks, Gimme, as well. And no questions either. I just shared a few links as well So it'd be much appreciated if everyone could share the link just for the live stream as well. And then if you're watching this and you're not a LCMS Traders Club member and you're wondering what everything is about, we've actually got a 1-month free trial up. So click that lcmstraders.com link and you can enjoy 30 days and experience really what it's actually like to be around. You know, some of us are full-time traders as well. So it gives you a handy insight into seeing how things are done. I can guarantee you, unfortunately, if you are looking to become a full-time trader to escape your day job, it's probably more work. I used to work several jobs at once to learn to trade. So please be careful. That's why we offer the Forex briefcase stuff. So if you don't really like all that, you can still benefit from the gains you can get from Forex, although you've got to be very sensible. And so look, honestly, it's been pretty lackluster with the US dollar, but I actually get something to talk about here as well with the index. And I will take, full responsibility for my calls in regards to what I say. And I did say that I was seeing some stability, but this is unexpected. And I'm trying to actually pinpoint here what is driving this. And sometimes you've just got to react to what you see and don't really look into what's happening, because it's quite a move we've seen, especially this time of day in the Asian session. So what I'll do, I'll just zoom in now on intraday on the 1 hour. So the chart here is showing 93.70. I'm using Samtrade as the broker, and we've got 93.67 was a recent low that we saw earlier in the month on the 4th of October. So we're at the 19th now. So we've really seen it chop around in this range between 94.50 or so. And now we're back down again, and we're seeing some interesting opportunities, especially on the Kiwi, Aussie dollar as well, with those Rba minutes that Kim Hong did discuss. And it just seems that other central banks are being considered as well for people that monitor interest rate changes, especially everyone's so low. But even there's been chatter about Australia having to sort of do something within the RBA as well. So we have seen that happen. And I talk about that just simply because yesterday in the currency column, I shared the link for yesterday's video as well about how you've got to pay attention to, a few things that are going on besides just the one currency pair. So if you're watching the Aussie, you've got to watch the US dollar as well. And we did say that the short was on the Aussie below 73.95, but we also said be careful with the US dollar index, and we have seen it come back down again. And we've also seen the the Aussie dollar break out. Now, in regards to playing this, in regards to the index, it's a tough one to say take it short. I'd really like to see it probably close a few candles around here and just see what happens. I'd like to see, honestly, a bit of a pullback. And then when the US session opens tonight, we see a little bit more direction once the equity markets are open. And that's really what provides that volume with the US equities trading is where most participants are. And, obviously, if you are new to the call, we do have the euro discussed today as well. And that's quite interesting as well. And that, like Kim Hong mentioned with Evergrande, and then Jin mentioned in the chat, nothing is too big to fail as well. So that could really offer some big volatility. But really the euro, and I won't even bring the chart up, but it's definitely something worth watching, guys. Be cautious with this as well. You want to see confirmation of a breakdown even further. If that does happen, that could really offer some nice volatility to trade on. But what I'll do now, guys, is I'll hand you over to Jin here now, multi-million-dollar trader, just to go through the euro and also the news to watch out for as well, guys. So over to you now, Jin.
All right, thanks for that, Scott. So a lot of things being shared here about the RBA meeting minutes. We have seen just starting off today, the massive, almost massive US dollar weakening, like Scott was just sharing with you. Here, the dollar index on the H4 time frame at that 93.70. I think just yesterday I was telling you that we might see it come down lower to test that 93.56 level. I think that still holds. So that view likely to still maintain. But what could move markets, looking at it here, forextradingasia.com. I think I haven't been telling you much about forextradingasia.com. So I think most club members, although you get all that info with what we're posting, you haven't really signed up for this. So make sure you jump on. This is where we post up, all the analysis, a lot of the write-ups on currency pairs, on news being released. Obviously, click on the Forex Managed account by Forex Briefcase here as well. All the news is there just so that what happens is you're all retail traders. If you are trading, you get back from work, you still don't know what to do. This is the snapshot view, the quick analysis, so that you get an idea of what's happening in the market before you jump in without knowing anything. So this is the one-stop shop to get all your information. What you also want to do is make sure you register for an account, log in to read the articles, and then you can rate it and get your points for that as well. With that said, looking at the economic calendar, what we do here is that on Tuesday, we just had the meeting minutes. You can see nothing much else happening from here all the way to tonight, where we do have some ECB members speaking. I don't think it's going to do too much at that point. Building permits for the US was 1.721 M, expected 1.68. Not a big change. Building permits, as Traders Club members have been telling you since last night, gives us a bit of a front leading indicator into what the markets could be looking towards. At this point, looks like there's not a big change for the US in terms of sentiment, but what you're going to pay attention to is whether this number is going to change significantly. Small changes are not going to do too much in terms of pricing. But with the focus on the euro dollar and the euro pound, again, at 10 o'clock, we have a member speaking, not going to do too much. The main focus will be CPI. Generally, I don't pay too much attention to the inflationary numbers for the Eurozone, but because recently, I think just over the weekend or early this week, yesterday, President Lagarde came out and said that if inflation does stay high, she's not going to look at it as a transitory inflation. She's going to look at it as something more permanent. So we might see some actions come into place from the ECB. If this stays at a 3.4, we might even see it head towards that 3.6 level, because a month on month is expected to go from a 0.4 to a 0.5. So I anticipate a bit of an uptick in terms of CPI, which at this point might not bring that downward move to the euro dollar, but it might set up a downward move for the euro dollar. Canadian, I'll tell you more about that when we talk about the CAD. And then on Friday, we have a lot of Eurozone PMI numbers. The main overview is that you can see, I don't pay attention to the individual countries, but Eurozone as a whole, manufacturing PMI looking to drop slightly from 58.6 to a 57, still in an expansionary phase, but slowing down. Services PMI looking to go from a 56.4 to a 55.5, again, in the expansionary phase, but slowing down. And then continuing on, we have some US manufacturing PMI, no, not a big change. Services PMI, not a big change, or a slight increase there, but because it is towards the end of the week, and also with the way the US dollar has been weakening, I don't think a change here could impact the strength of the US dollar. So with that, what it means is on the charts, looking at the euro dollar on the H4 time frame, we've seen it break above that 1.16. Club members, I was just telling you about that last night, not many hours ago, that if it does break above that 1.16, we're likely to see it test at 1.1683. We are heading towards that. I think that because it broke 2 weeks ago high point at 1.1629, I think at this point right now, it is in the middle. It is right in the middle of that support and resistance level. But if you were to jump into a trade, you could be looking for it to head up towards that 1.1683. I would say let this candle close, let it come back onto Bollinger Band. So I think somewhere there about that 1.1641 level, a tight stop loss, 20 pips, a good take profit level, 40 pips towards the upside, a 1:2 risk reward ratio, back up towards a 1.1683. This is the euro dollar on the H4 time frame. I'll do a little bit different. I'll look at it on the H1 as well. Why I say that it might take a little bit longer to track upwards, because right now you can see it tracking back down a little bit, retracing slightly. So I think they will sit in a bit of a consolidation before moving up towards the resistance level again. With that expected for the euro US dollar, the euro pound, I think that at this point it is back up towards that 84.62 resistance. No trade right now. Let it look and consolidate at this point, possibly to break towards the upside. But I feel that the euro pound is probably a no trade for an extended period of time. As the euro dollar is climbing up, I'm seeing the pound dollar climb up as well. I'll tell you more about the pound dollar tomorrow, but as the euro and the pound climbs up, we're going to see that consolidation for the euro pound at this 84.62 resistance level. So not too keen on that right now, nothing happening there. And then just to do a quick recap, the New Zealand dollar I was telling you about yesterday, looking for it to break upwards of 70.73. So it did that. We were anticipating a good 60 pip move upwards. It has gone to that 30 already, halfway there. If you haven't already jumped into a trade, just a little bit more about that 20 pip, not an H4 trade that you want to look into, probably an H1, but I think that the next opportunity will be for it to test and break above 7146 to see further upside. So with that said, I will pass it back to you, Scott.
All right, thanks for that, Jen. And I've just had, I'm going to butcher the name, but welcome from Uganda. And we have a hand raised as well. I have messaged you as well. So please feel free, guys, if you have any questions, write it in the chat, or even if you'd like, come on and actually ask a question as well if you do. Or if you were just saying hi and welcome to the currency call. I think, Jen, that might be the first room. Have you ever had someone from Africa jump on the call?
I think so. I'm losing track of who's jumping on, but we're getting worldwide, so looking forward.
We are. It's impressive. Now, look, guys, just to quickly touch base as well. So I have shared the link for the LCMS Traders Club as well. I'll just do that again if you are looking to, get into, especially recently now, we've seen a little bit more activity and ranges develop within the currency pairs. And we offer some reminders as well. So you don't just get left alone. We help, we answer questions. And finally, as well, just before the conclusion of the call, we've got, if you have heard little bits and pieces, we do have a managed account option where instead of you sort of, watching the charts, taking the news on board and taking, constant points of where things are, we do offer a trade for you service. Visit forexbriefcase.com. The link is there. And we've cracked over 100% in 3 years as well. Very smooth equity curve. So we don't have big fluctuations in regards to drawdowns. I think the worst was 2.4%. So if you have a look at the equity chart, you can sometimes have pullbacks of 20, 30%. So definitely something I would say to click on, get your details in the website, and we will be in touch with you as well. But I think, and it's an earlier finish as well. So make sure, guys, you do hit the links, you do get registered, and hope to see everyone. We've got a live trading call tomorrow night as well with the team. So make sure you hit that as well. And that's it, guys. So make sure you ask questions in the chat. And thanks again for watching, and hope to see everyone tomorrow for the pound and